You know, beauty is something you have to do. However, there's secrets to it. And I truly believe, like, my idea of the pretty girl is that beautiful person, that beautiful woman that's just effortless. That she seemingly steps out of the pool or beach. Hi, Tammy! Yes, I am here. I am here, Fun with Tammy, and I'm going to be here for a few hours because I know I've been away, but check out the tan. Just know I've been under the sun and it's been looking really good. So, nice to see you, Fun with Tammy. I have so many stories to update you with. Thank you. I feel great when I read that. That feels really good when people say they miss you. And I miss y'all too. And that's why I've never actually done any of my beauty things via live. However, I have not been on live in, I don't know, maybe 7 days, a little bit longer. So I'm going to take you through some of my, I like to call them beach babe beauty routines. Because I believe the most beautiful women to me are effortless. Meaning, whether they're in full makeup or they just came out to grab a coffee or walk the dog, they're beautiful. And there's the secret to that. There is a secret to that. And for me, I feel my most beautiful right after a workout, right after a run, right after something that took effort and physicality, right when I get out of the beach and I'm walking on the, thank you, I know, it's looking real good over here, Michelle. Let me tell you, baby, it's looking to feel real good. I love sitting in the sun and I'm doing it a lot. And I love that. When I wrote, and this is something, if anyone's looking for a partner, I wrote, when do I feel my most beautiful? Is it when I have my full makeup? Is it with a certain hairstyle? Because I've had every hair. And for me, it's right when I get out of the shower. Or right after I've had a facial done. Or right after something where I've like moved and jumped around and like I'm sweating and my skin's glowing. Continue to like and share the live because it's me and I'm back and I'm tan. And I'm showing you some of the secrets to this because again, oh, what's up? There's my sister. Okay, so you spelled back wrong, Sam. That is my sister, Samantha Williams, 869, all 157 people in the live. That is my sister who is 5 years younger than me and loves me so. So, as I said, I feel most beautiful after a workout or after I'm swimming or like if I'm walking in the sun somewhere international, that's where I feel the most beautiful. However, you can't be wearing a full face of makeup doing that. It's going to sweat off. It's going to slip off. Thank you. I really am, because life is good to me. I make it good no matter what comes. And I like the warm weather, not hot. I'm going to change that because as I've spoken, you know I'm a speaker. When I had my life-changing moment, when I went down in the plane, I thought about my favorite temperature. And my favorite temperature is between 82 degrees and 88 degrees with a breeze. Any higher than that, it's too hot. And I was raised the most of my life in triple-digit dry weather, which as a child is fine, but as a sexy, fierce person, no, it's too hot. I can't garden. I can't rollerblade. I mean, I can, but it is a it's a bit more of a chore when it's really, really hot outside. So my ideal temperature is between 82 and 88 degrees. That's right, Bella. You know, it's looking real good over here. What's up, Meg? Okay, since Mag is here, let me just make a quick announcement to all 126 people in the chat. I like to say my private security is here. This is a space of empowerment and positivity and uplifting and joyous times and learning from my colorful life. So anything outside of that, you will be escorted out. You know what that means. So again, we're keeping it lively, we keeping it sexy, we keeping it tan, we keeping it glossy lips and hydrated. Anything outside of that, if it's dry, if it ain't glowing, if it ain't freedom and smile and carefree, just go to where that is, because that's not here. So, what I do, I was talking about, yes, the warm weather, but warm weather beauty. And I believe the most effortless women are the most beautiful, but you can think whatever is beautiful is beautiful. Thank you, Tammy, and it's the truth, because we don't do that. And I'm reminded because my sister told me that, yes, it's called, see, you tried it. See, Crypto whatever, it's called Hope is Speaking. So this woman talking a lot, if the name is Hope is Speaking, it's not Hope is Quiet. Those are called context clues that I learned from my niece when she was like in 1st or 2nd grade. So with the context clues of Hope is Speaking, that means I'm gonna be speaking. And people like to hear me talk. And yes, I am beautiful on the inside and out. So, this is what I do because I'm often outside. I love being in the pool. I've done my 2nd round of laps today. Sonia, listen, come on. Sometimes you just gotta just be forthright with it. If you want to hop in and out of the ocean and the pool, you want your brows to stay on, okay? Because some of y'all will hop in the pool and your brows will hop right into the pool too. And when you come out the water, you'll be browless. That, ideally, isn't what we want. So, what I do, I actually dye my eyebrows, which we're going to do right now. And I dye it with men's mustache dye. So that's what we're gonna do because it's exceptional. I don't even care to fill in my brows, and when I dye my brows, I don't have to fill them in. I kind of just, yes, Tammy, yes. Then you can just put some clear brow gel, but they'll be over exaggerated anyway. So I typically use just for men. But this is what I have today. So this is big in, I don't know, it's big in jet black. And I do know how to do my eyebrows impeccably well. Let me just say, I believe you're a girl on the go. I always wanted to be a Renaissance woman and travel the world and be taken on fabulous dates. That means you have to be your own makeup artist. And I was a makeup artist. And prior to starting flight attendant training, I was either just had enrolled or was about to enroll in aesthetic school because I've always loved skin and makeup. So we're going to dye my brows now, and then we're going to dermaplane because I love dermaplaning. So I have these and we'll go through it. However, this is what I do because I think there's a difference between like having a beautifully unmakeuped face and light makeup. All of it is beautiful. However, I've always thought, you know, especially if you have a sexy visitor, you just wake up and you look as beautiful as when you laid down. You don't want to have a sexy visitor and then you wake up and you have to rush to put your eyebrows on. We ain't doing that, okay? We aren't doing that. Don't scare the sexy visitor when you wake up because you look like a completely different person. And if that's acceptable, then that's acceptable too. This is just how I do it, okay? So like this live, 20 likes, come on now. So what I do, this is just an e.l.f. eyebrow pencil, and I just brush my brows into place, and anything that I use will be in the link in my bio under my Amazon storefront. I just listed everything. And try it. This is how you find that you can dye your own eyebrows, or you can give yourself a great facial, or you can't. Just try it. Do not continue to look and say, wow, she could do this. I wonder. You don't have to wonder. Just try it. And it brings the element. My mother says that too, and that's okay. However, this may help. So it's very easy. It's very simple. And once you're comfortable with it, there's a confidence that comes with like being able to do your own beauty, especially something like this. So I have nothing on my face. I'm just brushing my eyebrows into place. Now, sometimes yes, continue to tap and show me love. Send this to someone who don't have any eyebrows. I like to leave my eyebrows alone. I do know how to do my eyebrows. I do value a great eyebrow, and I like to leave my eyebrows alone. So this is how simple it is. Okay, it comes with this tray. So again, this is just men's beard dye, and I have it in jet black. I like it as dark as possible, so the contrast, when my skin is nice and tan, it just pops, right? So all you do is take a dot of each. You just take a dot. So the first one is actually the color, and it looks like this, and you just put a dot. You can use a lot and then throw away the rest, because really, if you buy this, you can dye your eyebrows like hundreds of times. All it takes is a little dot. So as I'm dyeing my brows, I'll update you, because yes, yay, Tammy, woo! And you're gonna feel so good, girl. You're gonna be shining. I walk outside like ain't nobody can tell me nothing. Look at these brows, look at this skin. It just, I walk like I'm the power that I am, Tammy, and so will you, okay? So, I put one dot of the color and one dot of the developer, and you just mix it. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. You don't need anybody to show. People aren't, here's the thing. If you wait for people, you will always be waiting for people. I don't wait for nobody. I mean, actually I will if I want to, but if there's something I want to do, I'm not waiting on y'all. Because y'all are gonna say, I don't know, ain't nobody telling me, nobody's gonna hold my hand, I think I got something to do. No, I'm going, I'm out of here, I'm gone, I'm doing it. So there is a beauty in like saying, let me try this, because then others may follow or be influenced in some way. So I put one dot of the dye and one dot of the developer, and you just mix it up. It's that easy. And then you paint it onto your brows. That is it. It should I kind of like that, but then I'm going to dermaplane, so it won't really stain the skin. But I don't leave it on that long because I do this like once a week. I really do this often. But you'll find out. You'll find out. This is the brush I'm using. It's the e.l.f. concealer brush. I'm using this to actually put the dye on my brows. So I just brushed my brows into place, and now I'm going to put the dye on my brows. So update. I am actually going to put this on first. And then I will update, because y'all aren't gonna catch me out here slipping. So it will start to change on your brow, but just like paint it on. And I paint it on even where the hairs are sparse, because I like a really full looking brow. And as I told you, if I'm always getting in and out of the pool and the ocean, this is the best thing, because then I keep my brows on. So I'm just using men's mustache dye to tint my eyebrows, and you'll see it'll start to develop. I am fantabulous, thriving, worthy of being seen, and looking great, T. Wheeler. Well, it's never about an additive, Robert. It's more of just a accoutrement, something to it's not an additive. It's just like a brightener, you know? It's like if you have something and then you brighten it a little bit, it looks a little bit better. So, and furthermore, you can have additives. So now I'm gonna brush it again, men's mustache dye on my brow in the exact shape where I want it to dye the hair. And it will start to turn. It will start to turn, and then you can say, you can wipe off if it's gotten onto the skin, but it's just a simple dye to the brow that really just brightens up the face, and that's really it. Then I go in and I brush off the dye that's anywhere that I don't want the dye to be. This can also extend your brow times, like your waxing or any brow things like that, because it will just bring out the shape of the brow. So anyway, you'll see. And I leave it on for, I don't know. I don't know about this time thing. I just leave it on until I take it off. So, again, tinting the eyebrows with men's mustache dye. I have been. I model every day. What do you mean? Yes. So, update. Yes, I have not been online. And I jokingly, but it's not a joke, so we're just gonna leave this on and let it, you'll see it start to develop. And I may just go and touch in certain areas because There's areas of my brows that are sparse, and if you dye them, it picks up the little hairs and it makes it appear like your brows are fuller and thicker than they actually are. Right. Okay. So, yeah, if it's light brown, go for a light brown or a blonde. Go for that, because that will, and then if you want something darker, do it again a day or two later. Always start lighter. Always start lighter. Just start lighter. I like the contrast because, especially my hair is blonde now, but as I tan, I like a darker contrast. So I'm gonna let this sit. I've been away from live because I'm intentional. And my niece, I had like a auntie niece time, my niece who's 23, and I'm intentional. I like to be with her when I'm with her. So I'm often just with her. And I learn a lot because I enjoy every year of my life. And I learned so much from my niece, but gosh, yeah, those are times when you're learning about yourself, and I'm glad those are done. So, while my niece, we're here in Texas currently, and I'm gonna add more. Anyway, okay. So, what's up, Erin? Yeah, I've been with my niece and I've had some insights from spending time with her, and I'm starting to see it develop. So you can just see if it's at the darkness that you like, and you just wipe it off like that. So really, that's it. That's it. I leave it on for a few minutes, and then I just wipe it off. And if I want it darker, I will, tomorrow or the day after, I will dye it again. But that's it. And that's how you dye your eyebrows with men's hair dye. So it just brings them out a little. The longer you leave it on, the darker it will be. And I wipe it off with a little water. And then I go in with, this is my favorite toner, rose water, witch hazel toner, just to remove anything. And that is it. That's it, Tammy, that's it. Simple eyebrow technique for the ones who just want to get up and be in the sun and not have their eyebrows melt off while you're sweating in the sun. So now, my favorite thing, and I'll bounce around from subject to subject. Thank you, Tammy. And you see how simple it is? It's just so simple, and I love a thick brow. I love dermaplaning my face, and I just started doing this recently. So all it is essentially shaving your face. And I like this because it brings almost that exfoliation feeling of a facial. And you know I love my facials and aesthetics. I'm all for it. So with this, I've already double cleansed. I'm good with I love a double cleanse. So I double cleansed with this. This is this oil serum cleanser, which is basically gone from the Face Shop. And I went to the Face Shop while I was here in Houston, and one of the women who owns it, she said, "Hi, can I help you?" I said, yeah, what do I need? And she stopped, she said, "Come here." And she looked at my face. She's like, "You need a toner." I said, "I need a toner?" She said, "Yes, you're not using a toner. That's why you have this congestion here." I was like, what is this? What is she talking about? But she was kind of true, because then I did buy the toner and what she said completely went away. And I love my Korean skincare. Furthermore, I love all skincare. Wherever I travel, I always have favorites in every country. And an oil cleanser is fantastic, especially when I would get off the plane, because your skin can feel tight and it feels great. So I do this first as my oil cleanser, and then I go in with a second cleanser, and I'm using this cleansing gel that I got from an esthetician. So I use that. I double cleanse really well. I hope cotton didn't get in my eye. Okay, no cotton. And then wash that. I take time. Like, consciously think about washing your face. Because I have felt at times when I check in, I'm like scrubbing or I'm vigorous. Like, love your face. Be nice to your face. Understand, like, be nice to your face, okay? Let all of the water, rinse the cleanser off. Take your time, breathe deeply, all of that. And after, I don't actually towel down my face. I leave the water, or I use a paper towel. My sister uses like the Kleenex big cloths. I never use a towel on my face, ever. I will use a cloth, or I won't use anything. So while my face is still wet, I put the toner in my hand, and then I go like this and I put it on my face. So it feels like as the toner is evaporating, the water is evaporating. And then what I love is rose hip oil. I love rose hip oil for my face. And rose hip oil is, it's almost like a natural retinol. And I love retinols. I've been using retinols maybe 10 years, less than 10 years. I used to buy the prescription strength retinol from when I was in Brazil. Because in the US you have to have a prescription. In Brazil you can just buy, or in Mexico, you can just buy it over the counter. Thank you Marlo 313. So, and I learned, I used to buy retinol that was far too strong for my skin, and it like burned my skin, so I no longer do that. But anyway, while my skin is still wet, that's when I put on my rosehip oil, and then I do this, and I give myself like a real face massage, especially with this part of my fingers on my cheekbones, and then I do this to like really sculpt my face and just breathe through it. Especially up here, I do all of that. A nice neck massage, really like massaging your face without the thought of like, I have to massage my face. The thought of that feels nice on my face. How nourishing is this? My face, I do every day. And we'll talk about that too. This could be a time for meditation. When I do my skincare, I will say I'm fortifying my skin. My skin is so healthy and glowing and clear and in its most optimal state. It's not about your brain turning off, Tammy. Your brain doesn't turn off. That concept oftentimes is associated with meditation. You can never turn your brain off. That's not the point. The point of meditation is, that means you've tried it. Because with meditation, you're just aware. So the fact that you say it won't turn off, it means you were meditating. You will hear everything. That is the point. There's a moment where it starts to go quiet. However, working to get to that point. I have some meditations on my YouTube, Hope is Speaking. I have a 20-minute meditation, and then I have like another meditation. I'll do a short one because I think starting with 2 minutes for like a month is great. And then after the first month, go to 5 minutes. And then after that second month, go to 7 minutes, small increments. Because if the best time for me to meditate is right when I would wake up, I would immediately, and this is when I have my phone in my room. You know I don't sleep with the phone in my room. I would immediately put headphones in my ear and go to YouTube and turn on a 2-minute meditation. And just lay in the bed and do some deep breathing. And that's it. You will start hearing your thoughts like, oh my gosh, I have this to pay. I wonder if this person likes me. What am I going to eat? That's the point. And you don't have to grasp onto those thoughts. That's further down the road to be able to know that, oh, I can just observe these and be outside of these thoughts. What's up? What's up? What's up, love? However, meditation isn't to turn your brain off. It's just to observe and to say, whoa, oh, okay, that's what's going on. Okay. And then there's levels to it. Saying, okay, well, that's not true. If there's a tape in your brain playing that I'm not good enough, I'm not good at work, someone's going to find out what I really am. Okay, is that true? That's not true. Okay, I don't have to believe that. Or just being aware of those thoughts, or then reframing those thoughts. I am worthy of where I work. I am worthy. It takes time. Start with 2 minutes and understand that it's never about shutting off. Anytime you want to shut off or get away from, that may be something that wants your attention. So, I do and meditate. Prayer is meditation. Sometimes washing dishes is meditation. A dance can be a meditation. Meditation is just a concentrated effort on one thing. And so I make that everything. I like to say that life is a ceremony. So if I'm brushing my teeth, consciously thinking about brushing my teeth, or not thinking about anything, not thinking after I brush my teeth, I'm gonna go and scramble some eggs and no, be there. That's a meditation. Taking a shower can be a meditation. Just grabbing the soap, smelling the soap, sudsing it up, I don't know, washing your body and physically thinking about washing off what no longer serves you or what was taking your attention away. And that is, thank you, Ayebrow. Good to see you, girl. Anything can be a meditation. Anything. And it just takes time. So allow yourself time, because your brain has been doing this for however long. So the dermaplaning routine. I'm adding a lot of oil because I like to have a very slippery surface, but essentially this is just shaving your face. And everything, including the oil that I use, I put it in my link in my bio under Amazon storefront. You can get all of these things. So this is very easy, and this helps with the glow. Yes, continue to like and share the live, because now I'm going in like with the scalpel. Okay, this is how I keep it glowy and sexy. You gotta exfoliate. And exfoliate ain't just for the skin, okay? Sometimes you gotta exfoliate and let go of friends, family, partners, girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever. A house. Exfoliating is good in every part of life. And how often I've observed, maybe even myself, at times myself, me not wanting to release a person or a place or a thing because I've allowed it to be my identity. It's okay to release things. And one of the biggest things was me retiring from being a flight attendant, because flying around the world is already a passion. It's a passion. It's not something I like. It's a passion. It fuels me. It aids me. It adds to me. And that was my identity. So when I had the thought of leaving, flying, there was the thought of, well, what am I without it? What am I without hope, comma, flight attendant? What am I if I'm not in a different country every week, every day, or a different city? What am I if I can't easily say, yeah, I'll come to Finland, yeah, I'll come to Japan, yeah. What does that mean? What does that mean for my life? What does that mean for the friendships I formed? What does that mean? How will people see me? And it allowed me to understand that, number one, I am never my profession. And let me share this with you. You are not your profession. That is something you do to attain some sort of financial gain. It may be a creative element as well, but it's not you. Do not confuse what you do with who you are. And I thought consciously and spoke to my therapist about it and journaled about it and meditated of, yeah, I'm ready. This is it. I'm done. I have fulfilled everything that I wanted in this path. Because when I went into flying, I actually wrote everything I wanted to do. Go to the Great Wall of China, live in London, learn, perfect my French, go to Carnival in Brazil. All of these things I had written down, because where else would I be able to go to these lively world events that you only think about but as a flight attendant? And I had experienced two caregivers, my parents. I never saw them dislike what they did. So that world was foreign to me, hating your job. I only saw my father enjoy it and take time off and say, we're going to travel here, we're going to do that. So that was my example. Money was really third. I don't even think it was secondary. And oftentimes that's how money controls everyone, because it's, oh, well, how much am I going to make? Well, how much will it add to your bank of life? If I would have said, well, I'm not going to fly because they don't pay much. It doesn't. Travel is the most expensive currency because you can't fake it. You can't fake traveling. You have to have it. You have to make that decision. You have to get on the plane. You have to be uncomfortable, maybe not know the language, not know the societal structure, but that can't be faked. If you fake and tell someone, yeah, I used to live in Panama, but you'd never been there, someone can they know. Yes, exactly. 80, that's fantastic. All 7 continents, yes, I will do that too, and counting. Life is grand, I agree. And more so, it's the expansion of your mind. The reason why I'm using the Korean skincare or certain skincare items I used to buy in Hong Kong or Japan is because I was there. So I was exposed to something different. And that is really, to me, the biggest deposit into your life that comes from travel. I'll take it a step further, if you choose to live somewhere else as well. Because traveling is that first step. And traveling is just that first step, to have an extended amount of stay. It can, sure. However, you can always create memories. In fact, I had shared with my niece, at times, for me, get creative. It's not always about money. And this is where, if you latch onto it as far as only being able to attain once I have it, you're not being creative enough. And I shared with my niece because she's moving. And I am one of her aunts that has had several moves and several roommates. However, I have a comfort level. I do. And I will attain it. Sometimes I have to be creative. And she's moving into a new apartment, and she was saying, oh, I got X amount from my schooling, and so this can go into my rent. And I said, well, you set a budget for decorating, because your space is important. She said, I may not have enough. You don't even know. You haven't even started yet. The moment you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. The moment you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. And as I was sharing with her, I shared with her about two of my moves. The first move, when I moved from Central California to my first flight attendant base, was DC. So we served Baltimore International Airport, Dulles International Airport, and National Airport. Thank you for liking the live. Continue to like and share, because you know I always have my stories. So when I was first based out of DC, I just brought myself, what's up, JCI? I brought my stuff. I didn't bring dishes. You don't need any of that. I was 22. What am I bringing? I'm starting a whole new life. And I know, put me anywhere, as Jay says, as Jay-Z says, put me anywhere on God's green earth, I'll triple my worth. And then he has another line, but I won't say that. I will make it work. Just put me there. I will thrive. So we had moved in to a townhome in Alexandria, Virginia. It was beautiful. It was 3 bedrooms. Of course. I was just listening to that yesterday and today. I've been into a big J Kanye push, because that's really my music, my motivation music. So when we moved in, it was 2 stories. Downstairs, you had a beautiful entryway, a beautiful kitchen, the washer and dryer. Oh, what's up, Laurel Mary? Yeah, I've been in those parts. I've been all around Berry Farm. We'll talk about DC a little, because I loved DC. Of course, it's a classic. Reasonable Doubt? Come on. Imaginary Plays? Don't get me started. So when I moved to DC, it was a beautiful space. Downstairs was our washer and dryer, a half bath. Upstairs was our rooms, a den. Okay, I don't have a fave, but it's in my top of all of his albums, because all of his albums are my fave in some way. And upstairs, 2 rooms, a den, which was quite small, and a bathroom. But we had no furniture. And I knew I wanted to get out of my hometown. I knew it, and I knew it was going to happen. I had left school because I was like, I'm done with this. I got the braids. I just got to figure it out. Something's coming. And so I think I had been working at my dad's office, and I was also doing makeup. And then, this is the hustle, okay? Correct, no, but that's one of my favorite songs on that Unreasonable Doubt album. Come on, don't play with me, Mag. You know I know. So the hustle, because I was like, I gotta get out. I gotta get out. I'm listening to all of my, I don't know, my hustle music as a suburban girl, but I just know that when I set my mind at something, I will make it happen. So yes, I was like a runner at a restaurant. I was doing makeup, traveling, doing makeup with a company, and working at my dad's office. But then, after the restaurant, I would go and play 21. So in California, we have the Native American casinos. And I was like, yo, I'm going to take this portion and I'm good. I was even learning to count cards. Like, I'm going to triple this. I will take this, I don't know, $200. I'm not leaving till it's 400 or 600 bucks. So I was doing that for weeks. He was my boyfriend at the time, or maybe he wasn't my boyfriend at the time. Not sure, but we would drive to this Indian casino, and I was just on this like hustle, like I gotta get out. So I'm going to play 21 and I'll flip my money, which I did. So going to flight attendant training, I had a couple of $1,000. So I was just telling my niece, I was 22, I might have had between $4,000 and $6,000. Between 4 and 7, I don't know. But I just had that, and I did not know. I was just kind of creating some stack because I knew something was going to happen, and as soon as it came, I'd be ready to go. So when we moved after flight attendant training, which was 2 months in Chicago, first month's rent, last month's rent, deposits, all of this for utilities, all of that was like exhausted. So we didn't have, those funds went towards just settling in. We did not have much funds for furniture. And so I said, well, we can call a charity shop, a thrift shop. Yeah, let's do that. So I called Salvation Army in Virginia, in Alexandria, and I talked to them. I said, can I talk to the manager? Listen, we're 2 flight attendants. We have just relocated. She was from Louisiana. I was from California. We have limited resources. However, I am inquiring to see if you can donate furniture to us. And they said yes. What day would be best? And I'm sharing this with my niece because she was like, oh, there's no way I can get furniture. Shut up and listen to me. I've done it. Okay? And this is why I say, when you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. If you just think, I can't get furniture because I don't have money, that's one way of getting furniture. But what about if there's another way? Try to be creative. Quit just saying, well, that's the only way. No, it's not. No, it's not. You can go to Craigslist. People always put stuff on free that you can pick up. You can ask someone. She has a church home. Tell your church home, this is my final year of college. Can you give a love offering so I can give my butt a couch to sit on? And this is what I mean. Money will limit you. Yes, it's great. Yes, it's a resource, but there's other resources. And I remember they came and they donated everything. Salvation Army, which I'm a huge fan of, I've learned from my parents, and when my father led a church, We would donate there. We would donate to a local women's shelter. We would donate. There was different places that my father would give the offerings to. And I always remembered that. So I go often to these places because when my dad was leading the church, he would actually say, this goes to help someone. The offering goes to help someone. And so this is why I learned about a lot of local charities. And that's how I knew that's what they did. So someone told me. And I took that information and utilized it for myself. So I found that excellent information to tell my niece, because that just opens up a new world. So thank you. They donated a couch, a TV. No, maybe we had a TV. I don't know. Maybe there was a TV. I don't think so. I've never bought a TV. I never have a TV. I know they gave us each a bed, bed frame, dresser, a vacuum cleaner, which I've talked about this story, a dinner table, dinner chairs, plates, like everything. And again, you just got to be creative. Money is one way of exchange. However, there's always other ways to attain what you want. And speaking of dishes, I don't take dishes from my prior house into my new home. Matter of fact, I don't like taking anything. Usually I donate everything. I don't want the energy of what was in the previous to come. It's easiest for me to donate dishes because I get all of my stuff secondhand anyway, and I have impeccable taste. So I'm only going to find the best things. Exactly. And it's not, for me, it's new stuff, but I want the new space to speak to me. And I do believe everything can carry an energy. So these plates are gone because I'm inviting in something new. I'm not bringing all these forks from 4 different places. Y'all got mismatched forks anyway. Donate it and go to the Goodwill or the Salvation Army or wherever and get new. Exactly. Just give it away. Because the shift with moving, you are doing more than just moving homes. For me, my belief is I'm moving levels in my life. I'm moving energy. I'm leaving things. Thank you. Well, I got 4 sisters, so I can trade you out for one gladly, Marlo. But think about that. Think about the element of moving of, I'm leaving this behind for new. And I even talk to my old place. Before I leave, I say thank you. Thank you for keeping me safe. Thank you for the memories. And welcome in the new whatever. So in Virginia, that's what happened. Everything was donated. And then thank you, Eyebrow. And then when she moved again, okay, so here's the thing with roommates, because I am intelligent. I believe I've had intelligence all of my life. The more that I meet other 20-year-olds and anyone in their 20s, I don't know if I had that same line of thinking, possibly. However, I get it. You don't know anything. And in your 20s, you're the senior teenager. You may be 23. However, independence really hasn't been solidified. Breaking of whatever you learned from parents, it's still there. So you don't really know too much. It's not that 20 people in their 20s are less intelligent. It's just that you go through that time to learn. Every day, every decade, every year, you're just gathering information. And so my niece was explaining about her living situation. And I said, well, is it about money? And she said, no. The school handles all that. I said, oh, well then, if you have a roommate and you guys don't have to talk about money, there's no problems that you could really have. What problem are you going to have in a living situation with a person that you don't have to talk money? Because that's usually the issue. And I would know. She said, no, we don't. She pays the school, I pay the school. We don't have to talk about that. I said, oh, okay. Then she can't like move out on you, because I've had that happen. Like I told her, you could ask me. I've had someone move out on me. And let's add to it, I was outside the country. So what do you do when you come back from being outside the country and you open the door and all your stuff is gone and the person has moved out? These things create a resilience. They create a resilience, and it's a great story, because this is why I walk with a certain confidence. I've lived through a lot. I mean, at that point, old girl wasn't answering her phone. Again, I was already perturbed, because why did you take all the stuff? The stuff was donated by the Salvation Army. It wasn't yours to take. Technically, neither of the things that were donated were either of ours. They were donated. So what do you do about that? But let me start this process, and I'll tell you about this. So I'm going to dermaplane because I am really hairy. However, I also like dermaplaning just because it gives this glow. This is how you see this glowy skin. I'm meticulous about this. So when I dermaplane, as you saw, I put a bunch of rosehip oil on my face because I like that bit of slip on my skin. And then I will tell you this story and dermaplane. So I don't add too much pressure, but I just like scoop down with the thing, and it'll just take off like hair and the first layer of skin. It's fantastic. Okay, so this is what happened with that. Okay, I've lived through a lot, as I say. I've lived a colorful life. So okay, and also I use a new one every time. So the girl was a flight attendant as well. I constantly add more oil as I dermaplane. And I've told this story before. She was a flight attendant as well. Oh, fun with Tammy. This is why I do this after I dye my brows, because then I can really define my brows and scrape off any of the dyed skin. How often do I do this? I do this like once a month. It's advised to do once a month, sometimes once every 4 to 6 weeks. And I'm traveling tomorrow, so whenever I do a lot of beauty stuff, either the day of travel or the day before travel. I'm big with that. So the girl I was living with was a flight attendant. We had both been in training together. Hey, glad to see you too. And we had we had decided to become roommates because the third roommate didn't want to pay the extra $6, so we didn't end up moving in. Me and the girl moved in. We were different personalities, as everyone in the world is. However, things were normal until a certain point. And you see how smooth it gets? It's so nice. So we were living together, and there came a point where I had met someone. I think I had a boyfriend by like 2 months in. So I was always at the boyfriend's house, but I was still on the lease and living there. But I would always be at the boyfriend's house. So she said one day, like, "Are you still living here?" I said, "Of course I am, but I'm at my man's house." "Oh, okay. I don't know why. I can do whatever I want. I don't need to tell you what I'm going to do." So I think the second month, my rent check bounced. And we were both on trips. And she had said, "Oh, your check bounced." I mean, even think about that. Writing a check for rent. That's how long ago this was. So I said, "Okay, when I land, I'll go figure it out." So I landed. I straightened it out. I submitted my payment. She had felt something about that. So it might have been a month later or a few weeks later. I don't remember. This was quite a long time ago. I remember I was flying to London. So I came to the apartment to get some stuff because I was always staying at the boyfriend's house. And I told her, "Oh, I'm going to London. I'll see you when I get back." I go to London. I come back. I open the door. And that's when I see nothing. I open the door and I see couch gone. Like, really, all of the furniture that was donated was no longer there. And I was kind of dumbfounded because I was like, "No way. No way. No way." Like, it just hit me like, what? So I started calling her. She wouldn't pick up. And I was really upset. I was hurt because she took both vacuum cleaners. And you see, I know it has happened. It happens. It happens. They donated a vacuum cleaner to us, but then some neighbor was moving out and gave me a vacuum cleaner. And I love to vacuum. I love to vacuum in heels, because it's great for the butt and the legs. I think I've mentioned that before. I love to vacuum. So I said she must have did that really purposely because she knew I love to vacuum. So she never picked up the phone. Stuff was gone. I cried, and then I was like, I gotta figure this out. I gotta figure this out. I can't contact her because she's not picking up. Maybe I can go through professional standards with the airline. maybe I can, like, I'm trying to exhaust all of my resources. And yeah, vacuum too. So I said, F this. I still got to pay rent, and now we have a void. Our rent was like $1,500 total, so we were paying $750 each. And she was gone. I ended up subletting because I was always at my boyfriend's house anyway. So I went out again. You gotta get creative. Instead of saying, woe is me, what is I gonna do? Figure it out. Figure it out. You gotta get this figured out. So figure it out. And I went on to Craigslist. I posted 2-room sublet. I'm a flight attendant. I'm not there. I was always at my boyfriend's house. Room up for rent. Got someone in and got another person in. So I charged like $700 for each person, and everything was included. So it was a 3-bedroom technically. I did get 2 people in there. So I had $1,400 covered. All I paid was $100, but that took like maybe 2 weeks or something. It got to the point where eviction processes had started, because the day that I got everyone in, the day before, the sheriff was going to come, because the Commonwealth, every state is different, but Virginia, the Commonwealth, doesn't play. And I remembered, okay, the sheriff is going to come, and I got their deposits and got everything sorted out. So he did come, or right before he came, I was able to submit payment, and everything was great. However, what wasn't great was I had still not seen this flight attendant. I hadn't seen her. This happened during summer, because we started flying June 1st. This might have happened August or September. And I remember on Christmas, this was my first year of flying, I had like a Christmas Eve flight to Boston, layover, and like a 5 a.m. back to DC. So then I was able to fly to California to be with my parents for Christmas. I work from Boston to DC. I go into the domicile, which is the flight attendant office, and she's there. And she's there, and she's sitting at one of the office tables, and it was like us across from each other. I walk in, and she's like, I don't know, 50 feet away. And she sees me because I have a presence. I ain't never scared, okay? I don't start nothing. However, I don't have many people try me, because I am, I'm a real one. So I walked up to her table like it was a movie, and I sat down. I pulled out the chair and sat down and said, Finally, we meet on Christmas. And I remember thinking, like, this is my moment. This is that moment. This is the excitement. What are you going to say? Are you going to go off? Are you going to ignore her? What are you going to say? And I remember feeling like I was in a gangster movie. I remember feeling like, yes, this is that moment, Hope. Do it. And I had this whole like, yeah. It's almost like I had a, what is that called? What is that called? Okay, it's coming to me. It is coming to me. It is, it was a lengthy statement. That's what I'm thinking of, but that's not what it's called. Anyway, I have the whole, something like just popped into my mind where I said, you know, you moved out on the right person, because someone like me, this only adds to me. I'll always continue to soar. In fact, I learned so much about myself in that moment. But unfortunately for you, you will never fly as high as me. Something like mic drop and then walk out. I do remember that. And then I got up and I left the table. Okay, just because I finished, I'm using my toner again just to remove everything. See how nice that is? Dark brows, the skin. This is why I love dermaplaning. And she didn't say anything. She just looked, what can you say? You can't, she knows she couldn't say anything. What could she, there was nothing she could say. She actually just looked like, so I got up and I got on the plane and went to my family's house for Christmas. I never saw her again. I don't even know if she still worked for the company. I have no idea. What I do know is I felt relieved in that moment. Here's all of the stuff that I scraped off. And I shared that because, again, some of us have had these experiences and we can aid some. I don't know what people think. I am bold. In reality, I'm probably absolutely nuts. So what, you only think what you would do. She may think that, well, I wouldn't say anything. I don't know. I don't know what people think. However, I know that I'm extreme. So if that happens to me, oh, of course I'm going to say something. And it wouldn't be malicious, but I am going to, I am definitely going to let you know something. I am definitely going to let you know something. And that was it for that. But yeah, I was sharing with my niece, and see how easy that is? And now, you know, brows are ready. Don't even need to fill in the brows. Skin is nice and glowing and smooth. There's nothing much that you need. I got this lip gloss, and this is it, honey. Ain't no makeup going on. This is it. When you see me, this is it. This is it. It's easiest this way. Sometimes I put on mascara, but I don't really care to do that. Yeah, I'm pretty bold. You have to be. I'm always going to bet on myself. So for me to say I'm not going to say anything, of course not. Of course not. That takes a lot of forethought to physically move and move furniture and move all of that. That's fine. I wasn't even in that spot anymore because I was living with my boyfriend. However, it allowed me to be creative, still kept the lease. I did have that spot because I like to always have my place, even if I'm living with a boyfriend, because then you have your own place. However, I was paying $100 in utilities, which I had already calculated for the year. So I did like a one-time payment, something, where I came out on top. So even me being a first-year flight attendant, which you're on the lowest pay scale, I was paying $100 for my overhead. Along with my cell phone. I don't think I had any credit cards, like debt. I didn't carry any of that. On the contrary, I know there was more that she had to pay out. So if someone moves out on you, figure it out. What are you going to do? Instead of saying, oh, they shouldn't have done that. Yeah, that's true. But what are you going to do? When something happens like that, the luxury of saying what the other person should do or what they should have done, you're losing time. It's not about the other person. Now it's within your capacity to make something happen. And what are you going to make happen? That is the question. What will you do? In that regard, there was nothing that she could do. And furthermore, it makes for a great story. It makes for a great story. And I don't have anything negative to say about that instance because I grew from it. What are you going to do? Let me go downstairs. Yes, once it's done, it is done. Hold on. Okay, so now let me come down here. Ooh. Yeah, once it's done, it's done. And I'm okay with that. I know I will survive it. I don't need to complain about it. What are we doing in this moment about it? That's just it. That's how I see it, and that's how I take it. Outside of that, I don't care about the rest. I don't care about that. Just make it. I know I will make it happen, and I will make it work in my favor. And let me set this here. Hold on. All right. So let me know if you can hear me because look at this setup. Yeah, if you can hear me, just put a microphone. I'll see them tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, T. Willett. Thank you. I am currently in Houston. I'm always setting up something. I'm traveling back to California tomorrow. I am seeing my parents, but I'm jumping around as I told you. And with Ted being in October, I'll probably be in Europe 2 weeks before that. So all of this time now for the rest of the summer is kind of I see my friends throughout the U.S. or wherever, and then I go and, see the parents. I'll be seeing them tomorrow. I have the internment for my grandmother. So I didn't, thank you, I am Frey. Thank you. I was unaware of what an internment was. And my grandmother, who transitioned months ago, spent most of her life in LA, where my father was born and raised. So there was a ceremony where she had been living with my aunt in Atlanta. And then the internment is when the cremated ashes are laid next to her husband, and everyone from that side is there. So I'll actually be there for that. However, I had to share this with my niece, because for a moment I said, another funeral type thing, like what? It just feels like it's been dragged out. And then I said, you know what? It's not really about the funeral element. We're all getting older. And even my parents, my mother is 73, my father is 76. He's the oldest of his siblings. So his siblings are 74 and 73, respectfully. So when I thought about that, the average life expectancy for a American, I think, is 75 or 78. Let's just say it's 78. In that regard, my uncle, who is 75, that means I technically have 3 years with him. But in reality, that's not really 365 days. That would be 3 more Christmases or something of this nature. So I looked at the element of these gatherings as a check-in, because now, even as I'm maturing, more of these check-ins where you get to see family members you only see at weddings or funerals, it's to really see them. Because more of these check-ins, there's less people there. And even though I'm no longer that 12-year-old, it's people like to see you. They like to just see how their niece is doing, or their cousin is doing, or their favorite brother's daughter is doing. Those check-ins are notable, and it means something to me. And I shared this because there was moments where I said, I'm not going to go. I don't another gathering over a person who has transitioned. And then I said, but wait a minute. No, yeah. People like to see you, Hope, and it's good for me to check in to see them. And it's less of the short. That could be an element, that life is short. And the other element is like, how many times do you get to see some of these people? And just share. Yeah. Listen, some people I don't care to keep in touch with. Let me be clear. Let me clarify that. However, that conscious choice of a check-in, that conscious choice of, I love you, and so I'm showing up. And and everyone does have their own life. And these family members, there are certain people that are important. And I choose to make an effort because they will at one time only be a story. And I want to be there enough. Exactly. That's why you show up. Yeah. And I shared that with my niece because she had said, I have a mandatory meeting for work. Hey, let me cut that right now. There is no mandatory anything. I'm going to tell any person, break this notion of mandatory. It's mandatory until it's not. There ain't nothing that can't be.
even I say everything in life is negotiable. I don't care if it's school. I don't care if it's a job. If I have to forego seeing a family member or going to a gathering because of the firm nature of this job, well, then you guys got to work that out. I'm a family member transitioned. I don't really need to say more than that. I've always kind of said that. However, I've also done the opposite, where I've made up a story. People know when you're telling the truth. And if the truth is, I am not what can you do to rectify this? I have a family engagement. There is a meeting that everyone must be here for. I won't be able to make it. What can you do? That's it. There is no, I'm not going to a family gathering because of a job. No, absolutely not. And that element of like, well, I've told you about, I take risks. So authority, who? Who? And to also know, as I shared with my niece, ask yourself first, do you want to go? It's not, I can't go because of the job. First of all, get quiet. Ask yourself, is this something that's important to me? Do I want to go? Is this something that's meaningful for myself? And if that's the case, you say yes and you go. That's it. I'm also under a belief of a different type of work structure where it's not you must go or it's done. Well, no. And to be comfortable with that, to be comfortable with saying, I have a family engagement that I must attend. And it coincides with this mandatory meeting that is mandatory. However, I will not make it. I appreciate this company. I appreciate being an asset to this company. How can this be rectified? That's the conversation. There's a way to say anything. And my father taught me this, and it's the truth. Not feeling that fear of, I'm going to get fired because I have a funeral. Well, then when do you actually draw the line and say, I am not going to come into work? If there's always a fear of, that is more important. And I learned these things from my niece because often what we're experiencing or how we see life, we say it. We just say it. When she said, well, I can't go because I have a meeting at work. Well, you can do whatever you want. However, ask yourself if you want to go first. Do not just assume you can't go because of some outlying factor. And she left me with a beautiful one-liner, because as we're here, we've been driving a convertible. And I said, you want to put the top down? She said, regardless of anything, I'm always going to want the top down. And I thought, you know what? That's right. Regardless of, why would you not want the top down? It's almost like my metaphor for life. I'm not going to, if I have the convertible, the top is coming down, baby. The top is coming down. And even the beauty of that, like, why would I not have the top down? It may be snowing. I remember when I was in Hawaii the first time, when I went with my family, it was raining and someone had a Mustang convertible, and it was a dad driving with his sons, and they had towels on their head. And my dad laughed. And he said, yeah, I know that, man. He said, I got this convertible for y'all. We gonna drive with the top down, but put them towels on your head. Now, I'm not going to, maybe I would do that, but there's still that thought. Why not? Why not have the top down? Why not? And that beauty to have fun with life. And I made a TikTok post because it's the truth. And I am going to see Beyonce as well, more than once. However, I see a lot of these, I've seen people say that they have the come down effect, the withdrawal from the show, which is understandably so. A powerful performer. It's almost a spiritual event. It brings you in. And then it's also because you don't really like your life. You're not really living like your life is the concert. You have to outsource it to someone else. So, of course, you're going to have that come down effect because in your everyday life, it's boring and you've settled. And you've been settling. You're settling in your relationship. You're settling in your job. You're settling in your interpersonal relationships. You're settling. You're settled. The only time you feel something is when you outsource it to, I don't know, drinking, to something. But you can feel that same happiness, that inspired feeling, like when you go to a concert in your daily life. I do. Now, may it take work? Sure, but it's your life. It's your experience. Why the heck are you living an experience that is not fulfilling to you? And if you don't know if it's fulfilling, ask yourself, is this fulfilling? Am I striving towards something? It could be a goal. It could be a body weight. It could be, I don't know what it is. But every time I'm speaking to you, you will hear me speak about something that I'm like, wow, I did it. There's always a constant bettering of my best, regardless of what it takes. And a lot of what I'm sharing is how I'm seeing life through my niece, because she is a prolific dancer. Prolific. And I understand as an artist. I understand as a creator. I used to dance. I've loved dancing. I thought that was it for me when I was younger. I thought I wanted to be Tina Landon, who was Janet Jackson's choreographer. And I had dreamed about being a choreographer to the pop stars or being a pop star, regardless of what it was. I have a natural talent of dancing and started to build upon that. Now, the difference is I like dancing. I love it. I love it as a release. It is a release because you're moving your body and your muscles, and the music, it's a spiritual release in every culture. Dance, movement, stomping your feet, gathering, that is a meditation and a spiritual practice, whether it's indigenous cultures all over the world know the power of dance, especially with a group of people dancing in unison. So I know, Meg, I know you can do a little two-step. However, as I said, I like dancing. I don't love dancing. And I discovered the difference by going on dance auditions. It was the same thing with me modeling. It's fun. I do like modeling. There's other elements of that visual form that I enjoy. I'm great with modeling. It is an art. It is a skill. There are angles. You have knowing your light, knowing how your body fits in a frame, and all. There's a skill to modeling. However, I just didn't really care to go to castings. Like anyone who's had to do auditions, That's when you determine if you love it or not. I have lots of pictures. You seeing it right now in real life, man. You seeing it in real life. On my TikTok page, I have my first national campaign. It was with Wet Seal back in, it was right before I started flying. So it was like 2004, 2005. So go down further on my TikTok. I have it because it was my feeling of celebrity and understanding that, because I was in this Wet Seal campaign, which used to be like the go-to place. And it was on the website, and I was in the store on the display things. And I remember people saying like, Hope, I saw you on the Wet Seal advert in the store, and feeling like, very conscious of how I looked every day. And it's a part of it. It's a part of it if you're in the public eye. But knowing that and seeing how that felt, like every day, okay, how do I look? People may recognize me. Like, do I need to lose weight? All of that. And I'm already the perfect size. However, feeling that and knowing how that felt on a small scale. So as that grows, it just grows. So back to dancing. Yeah, I like dancing. I don't love dancing because I went to a few auditions. This is while I lived in London for commercials. And I said, yeah, I don't love it enough to take it on. And I am a great dancer. I believe of the average, or if I'm in a room with people, I would say I'm the best dancer. If I'm around professional dancers, I'm okay. So I'm great around the average. Around professionals, I'm okay. I don't care to do that grind. I know about it. I know about it from modeling. I know about it from other endeavors where you have to show up every day. And the beauty with my niece and her dancing journey, she had a big show where it was like a 10-week rehearsal, 4 rehearsals a week. And just seeing that, I said, you're a professional. That's a part-time job. And any art, any creative, it envelops your life. Because if you're rehearsing 8 hours a day, 4 days a week, you're also sleeping and consciously recharging, because you got to dance and you're eating differently and you're planning, and it's in muscle memory. It becomes you. And I enjoyed that with modeling, because modeling with dancing, it'll take you around the world, but you got to know, like, this is it. And unless you're a creative or an artist, most individuals don't understand that. They don't understand that grind. They don't understand that life. And that's okay too. And I was explaining to my niece, because a lot of people, especially on my father's side, are highly academic, lots of engineers, lots of mathematicians, very bright, quick people that do not see art as a real life, something that can create a life, meaning that will bring you shelter and food and joy. That is not understood because they are academics. And also it's a generational thing. You were taught this is what you do. You're bright. You go to the best school. You get the best education. You get that best job, and you go to work every day. And if that works, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You know, I'm always changing it up. However, I do kind of like the grow out process, and I like this length because my curls. So, you know, I'm changing it up, and I appreciate that, Black Rob, because, we'll see how it'll be for Ted. I'm formulating that look. And even that, I see myself in like seasons. When I see pictures of me, I know, oh, that's that pink-haired moment. That's that moment. I'm constantly changing my look. That kind of comes from modeling and just being, I like changing the look. I like experimenting or showing up differently. And my niece was saying how I have a lot of family in Texas from my father's side, how there was a misunderstanding that dance can and is a real way of life that has created lives for people, where it's a consistent income and bought homes and it's what you do. Okay, thank you, Black Rob. I appreciate it. I always like my blonde, so thank you. And someone who has chosen to just take, and whatever path you find for you is what's best for you. I do not see one that is better than the other, as long as it's for you. But ask yourself, is it for you? If it's not for you, if it's because someone said this is what you should do, that probably will come out at some point. However, someone who took the academic route and chose to take that job does not see the 8 hours of rehearsal or the sleeping time or the stretching or how you change what you eat and how your body just gets, your muscle memory changes because it's picking this up, and how your body starts to become in tune with your ears and everything. There's all of these things that happen, and that's okay if that's not understood. That's a part of it too. Not everyone will understand. They're not supposed to. It's for you to stand firm in your conviction and still show up as you, regardless if someone believes it's the best choice for you or not. So what? So what? Yeah, and I really enjoy my time with my niece because I'm the cool auntie. I love it. I am really cool. I am like, I'm enjoying every aspect of where I am in life. And even I had told her, okay, I'll see you in Germany. She said, okay, I'll see you in Germany, because she's coming to the TED Talk. However, I'm spending 6 weeks in Europe. So I said, come along. I want to go because everyone knows I love to be outdoors. And I love to hike. I love to hike. I want to hike the Dolomites in Italy, and I'm right there next to the Black Forest. I'm also close to Switzerland, which I love. And there's other towns in Germany. You can easily take the train. So I'm going to stay and explore. That's what I do. That's what I love. And even sharing with her, one of my sisters wants to go to Berlin, which is a really cool city. I love Berlin. Berlin is cool. It's fashionable. It's diverse. It's gritty. It's has a cool music scene. It has a huge club scene. And my sister said she wants to go to one of these clubs that's like a 4-day club. You can stay there all night. I said, you don't even go to the club now. What you do? Go to a 4-day club? What? I mean, I will do it. Why not? But will you? Yeah, exploring with my sisters is always fun, and especially with my nieces. And this TED journey is exciting. I have to share, there's all of these benchmarks because TED in itself is a respected platform. So there is a stringent guide, like X date, this must be completed. Then this will be submitted. Then there's several things that happen. And I felt it like, whoa, okay, this is really happening. And I'm excited. I'm not nervous. I'm excited. And what that means, like this whole TED journey, even me being a creative, me saying I'm a speaker, this is a huge benchmark for me where I am consciously creating this speech that is to be shared with the world. And to me, I see myself as that performer. I'm preparing as that. Yeah, it's in my bio. So go to the link in my bio. I'm recording my TED Talk October 7th. And I am the only speaker, motivational speaker. And I'm creating it. This is my creation. I see myself as this is my renaissance. I am Beyonce creating my renaissance in this world. And it's the first of many. I've been saying this before it even happened, but it does mean that much, and having that clarity, like getting up every morning and working out. Yes, exactly. Thank you. And the meditation and constantly bettering your best. It's a part of it. And the journey towards that. So, with that, it's all good. Oh, well, that's great. Thank you. That is, well, how do you know? She's lovely. Every instance I've had, I've been in the room with her. Well, I've been to Beyonce shows, and I've been at private events that she's been there. And she's a perfectly polite person. However, thank you. I appreciate that. And her skin was glowing, I must say that. And well, maybe it's that beauty. I don't know. Okay, sure. I do remember her skin just being just like butter. And she's always been very nice. So it could just be that power that is possessed. I don't know. I'm just hope. Yeah, but possibly. I'll take that as a compliment. And there are people that are afraid of me. I've had people say that, like, Hope, I don't know. I just feel, someone said, like, if I saw you in real life, I don't think I would be able to come up to you. Which if that's true, sure. That is done purposely as well. If you don't think you can come up to talk to me, it's done purposely. Then what I'm doing is working. There's that too. However, if you come to talk to me, we're going to be talking, because I do talk. I do love my talking. So Mag and Black Rob, thank you for both. Thank you for both. So with that, there was also, because November is my birthday and I'm already going to be in Germany, I had looked last year at the schedule for the BMW driving course. I don't have I am slightly biased, but a car is a car. And I did say for my birthday, I will do the BMW driving course at the BMW facility. And where you go and you put on the thing and you go on the car and you eat in the facility. It's almost like a college campus. Yeah, yeah. So there's the BMW driving course where you're like taught how you take all of the turns. Then there's another course. Well, you don't have to be. You can just go, Mag. You don't have to be jealous. It's available for you too. There's a specific amount of slots. There's a course in the Carolinas. I think it's in North Carolina. BMW has one of their technical facilities. However, I will do the one in Germany. And they also have, and I remember there was a flight attendant I would fly with, and she did this where they built their BMW to specification. They watched it be built in the facility in Germany, and then they got to drive it to the airport, and they flew it to the US. The Ferrari course, exactly. Yes, yes, yes. And that's a networking thing. Because one of the courses, there's one of the driving things that you can only participate with if you're in the BMW Drive Club. These are different ways of networking, or just different ways of meeting people that you just don't think of. It's not always a bar. Let's go to the driving course, okay? Why not? So that is actually on the, that's the dog, list while I'm on that side of the world. And there's a few different driving courses. However, it's the same car, Mag. What are you talking about? It's the same car. And the course itself, I mean, the BMW facility where you have all of the whatever, it's more for me the engineering. It's the same thing with Mercedes-Benz. What's up, Nick NY? Good to see you. I've been here almost 2 hours. However, this will go on to the YouTube as well. And even though I wasn't on live, I have uploaded all of my lives since I've been going live, which surprisingly hasn't been, I don't know what a BMV is, Mag, but BMW, I'm open to both. I'm slightly biased because I have only personally owned a BMW. However, I'm not chained to that. I'm not chained to that. Ah, okay. All right. Thank you for the clarification. Look at you. You smart. Okay. I stand corrected, Mag. The Germans. In fact, here's a quick funny story. Yes, because today I did my eyebrows and dermaplanes. When I lived in London, one of my flatmates, there could be, Pintos, I would redo a Pinto. A Pinto now, like with a bright red, nice paint would be fly. I'm open to all of it. There is a part of me that would have like 10 cars because you got to have your Sportster, your two-seater. It's only me and you, baby, because we got the two-seater. Then you got to have the Cuddy. I would have a Cutlass or like a 68 Corvette or a 67 Mustang or something from the 60s, Aston Martin. I would have some sort of Cadillac. I would have a Chevelle. Like, I love the old muscle cars from the 60s and 70s. I would love a Bronco from like the 80s. And my daily car is an electric car. For me personally, the daily car is an electric car. And I appreciate BMW i. I have not test driven or driven any other electric car other than my i3. And I love it, and it's very nimble. However, you could catch me doing donuts. I would definitely get like a Chevelle or a Cutlass and do donuts in the street. That's where my California comes out. The last time I did donuts was on a Sea-Doo, was on a was on a jet ski somewhere in Mexico with my sister. I was doing crazy eights. Sometimes you got to flip it and do the donuts. Why not? So with that, I am not too rigid. I'll have a Benz and a BMW. I would have a Ferrari and a Cutlass. I won't, there are certain cars I won't drive. I won't drive, I don't believe I would ever drive a Hummer. It just aesthetically isn't pleasing. Um, it has to be sexy and have some. I know I'm the one. I've been saying, listen, I'm her. Okay, you see this glow? Yeah, there's certain cars I just wouldn't drive. However, I love a classic car, and I will race you. I used to. I will always race anyone. I started doing that, driving my i3, because electric cars are always going to beat you because they take off. Now, it can't be sustained for a long point of time. However, I'm always going to beat you. So I will race people, and I've raced everyone. Like, I will race people. Like, are you serious? Come on now. Come on. This is an electric car. Get out of here. The last person I raced, they had a beautiful, it was like a 51 Chevy. I know the years of a lot of these cars because my dad would say them out loud. And remember, before I came along, my father owned a car dealership, so he was kind of into cars. So when my dad would drive, he would say, oh, that's a 58 Chevy. Oh, that's a Lark. Oh, that's a something Oldsmobile. And I categorized a lot of that. So, Alma. Hi, Alma. That's the dog. So, the last time I was in Hawaii, it was someone with a classic 51 Chevy. It was a turquoise color, and they came up to me at the red light, and I said, oh, you have a beautiful car, because it was beautiful. And then he said, thank you, and he took off, and I was like, hell no. And no, you and your classic car is going to get left in the dust. In the dust, okay? Are you serious? I remember saying, is he serious? My niece was laughing because I'm putting the pedal to the metal. You aren't going to do this, buddy. You do have a metal car. Your engine is probably bigger than mine, but get out of here. And I almost feel like I'm ducking natural disasters from Maui to California. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on, and I'm feeling it. I haven't said this all my lives. However, I was feeling there was something that was lost with the wildfires in Maui, and a portion of me is still mourning that. And I look at the beauty of what is new and what will come. And there's a sadness. There was something, I was quiet for a few days because I really, yeah, this is life. This is true. However, I did shed a release of tears because these are just events that happen. However, with Maui is has a portion of my heart. So there was something I felt that had to be released with the shift and the change of the island. However, there's a shift and there's a change within me as well. So, I also, oh my gosh, Mag. This is directed towards you because I think I've found the most perfect outfit. I I only want to wear this dress for the rest of my life. Like, I see myself as I found my Steve Jobs outfit because I think about that, streamlining my life. Steve Jobs did that. Mark Zuckerberg. There's a few other of these geniuses or these people that have created great things that have alleviated the need to choose an outfit. They just wear the same thing every day. And I love to thrift. That's what I do with my niece. Anywhere in the world, I'm always going to go to a vintage shop, a vintage fair, a flea market, and find great food everywhere in the world. And so we went thrifting, and I found this dress. And I said, this is perfect. This is the most perfect outfit because it's black. I do like colors. However, my personality is colorful. However, let me show you. Because I like to have the arms out. The arms are out. The back is out. And I can do everything. And yes, it is a dress, but like it actually is like has pockets. I could put my phone here. Like, I don't need anything else but this. I can put my phone here, my lip gloss, because I don't carry a bag. All I need is my keys, my phone, and my lip gloss. I could put it in these pockets. This is perfect. Perfect. All I need is this, like 150 of them. And every day I just put on one. It's perfect. I could just dress it up or dress. Exactly. A hidden pocket. A hidden pocket. I mean, what else do you need? What else do you need? I don't know the brand, which is great because I wouldn't mention it anyway. However, I found it at the thrift store, brand new, which I always find the best things. And before I go in to any thrift shop, I always say, I'm going to find the most amazing, unique pieces that are perfect for me. And I found this. And my life has forever been changed. Yes, with pockets and the material, because I love my textiles. You know, my favorite fabric is silk. Then the second would be cotton, because cotton can be a t-shirt or jersey, or it could be jeans, and then wool, because it could be cashmere. Anyway, the fabric is like a jersey. It's fantastic. It's perfect. My life has been complete since I found this. I don't want to wear anything else. I mean, do I need to wear anything else? I have the pockets, and they're hidden. I can't get pickpocketed. It just doesn't. Well, no, let me not say that. I'm not going to limit myself. How much better can it get? And the back, wait a minute. Look at the back. Like, I can do all of that. I'm just so happy. So, great developments. Great developments. Everything is working out even better. I feel great. I'm nice and tan. And beautiful developments. So you've been updated with some of the developments. You actually saw the beauty routine for how I can just glide around effortlessly with this glow, because you dye your brows, you keep your skin great, you feel good. Also, it's about just genuinely enjoying you, being happy with you. That helps. So with that, that's the update. Yeah. The smile, the new hair. I will be doing a live from the airport. And I'm going to post something because I have all of my little secrets about the airport, you know, especially the flight attendant secrets. However, just right now, if you're traveling, it's the best time to travel because kids have gone back to school. People are back in their real life. They're no longer taking time as far as summer is concerned to travel. So now until like mid-late November is a great time to travel. It's a low season within aviation. So I like to just people watch. I'll go to the airport. I'm usually there early. I don't enjoy the feeling of rushing through the airport or rushing through anything because I don't rush. I like to be there at least 2 hours before. Yes, I do. I do too. People watch you. It's fantastic. And then you take it a step higher, talking to those people. Like, hey, that's a great bag. Hey, that's a great jacket, and starting these conversations that you never know where they may lead. I always say the airport is the world's intersection. And we spoke about this last time, this pajama thing, going to the airport wearing pajamas. No, honey. And I love that about my niece because she's always suited and booted because she travels with me. And she loves a bar moment. I don't drink, but she says she usually goes and gets a mimosa before flying. I said, yeah, that's how you should do. And then maybe you'll meet someone at the bar and all of that. Just enjoying. Well, what's going on in the world? Me is going on in the world. Whatever's going on in the world is always going on. I choose to focus on what is important to me. Well, why? Why would they? Is that an insinuation that they wouldn't because you're a large black man? I love a large black man, in fact. That's something I love. Oh, well, then if you're trying to look mean, that usually doesn't work. When I try to look mean, it's like, it doesn't work. Yeah, there's always what's going on in my world is what is important, TJ. And I've traveled a lot. I've lived a lot. So whatever focus is the meaning of what's going on, I can shift. I choose to give anything power. There's a lot of things I just don't listen to as well. This is why sometimes I leave my parents' house because the news is always on. I'm not listening to that. I am here to inspire and uplift, and I'm aware. However, I have friends all over the world. I still travel the world. That's how I understand what's going on in the world, not from an outside source. And I get to choose to be positive, regardless. I don't, TJ. I don't. So when you ask me the question, what do I think about it? I don't. I don't. The assumption is that that is 100% truth. I don't lean on that. And you can choose for it. Listen, Nick and Y, you just choose. It won't rub off unless you just choose and practice it. You just choose to think the opposite thought. You just choose to show up differently. It just doesn't happen. It's it's essentially like this TED Talk. I had it on a vision board. I shared how I superimposed myself onto a TED stage and printed it out onto a 5.7 picture paper and set it by my bed. And I visualized it. And I was also every day doing something to get closer. So it wasn't me saying, I'm going to speak at TED, I'm going to put on the vision board, and it'll just happen. It's that belief, but everything I'm doing is working towards it. So it just doesn't, it did happen, and there were steps that go towards it. How do I keep up with all the conspiracy theories? I don't care about that. I don't care about any of that, because that's exactly, all you have to do is shift your perspective to see something different. And often with the conspiracy theory, that's not my line of expertise. That's not my line of expertise. But I have actually used many of these things to inspire me to look in a different direction. If you want something to make you, I choose to put focus and energy into what feeds me. If it doesn't, I don't. And that's it. And that's it. I get to choose. I am that intentional. Everything you're seeing is intentional. From my hair, to what I use on my face, to the color of my nails, to the clothes that I'm wearing, to this microphone, to the lighting, everything. I'm not going to intentionally ingest something that is not beneficial. And I'm reminded of this because someone had something to say to me, and I asked them, I said, listen, before you share this information with me, is it these three things? Is it beneficial? Is it uplifting? And is it positive? If it is not those three things, it's not for me. Whatever you have to say, whatever you want to tell me, ask yourself before you share it with me. Thank you, I am Frey, for the 11 roses, and 11 is a master number. If you're into numerology or the study of numbers. If you have something to say to me, whether it's gossip or you got something to tell me, ask yourself, is this beneficial? Is this uplifting? And is it positive? If it is, share it. If it isn't, it's not for me. And I told this family member, check this out. I know you heard a family member, they want to deliver a message to me, and they delivered it to you. Before you deliver it to me, is it positive? Is it uplifting? And is it empowering? If it is not, that's not for me. And I walked away. That's how intentional that I am. That's how intentional I am. That's how intentional. That's what's beneficial to me. All of this other nonsense, I don't care about it. Yeah, but I get to dictate what's beneficial. For you to say something that is not 100% truth, that's not beneficial to me. If it's not 100% truth. And I'm very limited with what I consume. I haven't had a television since I moved out of my parents' house at 22. My life is exciting. That is a sure TJ method. And that is your truth. It's not the truth. It is a truth. However, you're speaking of humanity in one specific location. If that is not true, in Uganda, then it's not 100% truth. And this is what I learned with traveling. All you got to do is shift where you're at, and it may shift a perspective. Possibly. That, for me, that is not 100% truth for me. If it is for you, sure, I'm supportive of that. I am in a space in life where I see life as gray, not as black and white. And because of all the countries I've been to and the people I know around the world, I don't know. And for anyone to say, this is definitely it, I know it, okay, but I don't know how, but sure, okay, sure. It has nothing to do with me. The beauty of anything that seems destructive is what will come from it. And even though I'm a resident of Maui, you have not heard me speak about what the shift in Maui intentionally. This is, again, not a space, any of my lives, for anything that is not uplifting, positive, and empowering, and respectful. Because many individuals that have their story of what has transpired is just that. That's their story. And although beauty has already came, because the beautiful thing that I learned from living on an island, specifically Maui, we come together. And I believe this is most of humanity. In fact, this is why it stands out when individuals don't. And I'm positive. So the beauty of Maui or being on an island is you rely more on your neighbor. And the beauty that I've seen is how the island has really came together to help, because there's a very small population that has ever experienced something as traumatic as that. And the post-traumatic stress and the mental health that will have to be restructured and nurtured from losing a home or a family member or a familiar space is a true space of empathy. And I choose not to speak much of it because there's a healing, but it's also not always up for discussion. And for me to continue to inspire is for me to be intentional about how I use my words, my truth, my gift. And possibly how another individual can learn from that. Because not everything needs to be shared by everyone. And that can be powerful. So, thank you, Mac. I'm growing into a space. I come on live and I'm purposely on here a little over 2 hours because I was intentionally away. I am intentionally shifting. I am intentionally creating art. I am intentionally I don't know what the first 15-minute city is in TJ method. I do not receive this as being uplifting, beneficial, and positive. And so, unless anything from this moment on is constructive, beneficial, uplifting, positive and truthful within all spaces in regarding the island of Maui, do not share it. And that's how intentional I find I am with my life. Even the spaces where I am now recognized a bit more, knowing when to put more of a barrier or a boundary. Because when I come on here and share, my intention is to shift a perspective and to create a feeling. Not necessarily get you hype and motivated. That's a part of it. However, if I can just shift a perspective where someone says, whoa, what does that mean? I've never saw it that way. Well, if it's that way, then what does that mean? It creates a whole line of thought and feeling. I say that all the time. I want to feel something. A lot of these mofos is boring, y'all. Boring. You eat boring things. You wear boring things. You watch boring things. Everything is boring. Job is boring. Girlfriend boring. Boyfriend boring. Life is boring. Your shoes is boring. Boring, boring, boring. I want to feel something. Make me feel something. Feel excited. Feel happy. Feel thoughtful. Feel. And I really am intentional about that. And at times that means to withdraw so I can gain clarity. So I share that to say I seek to always be consistent and come on. And I am also at times truly living so I can have something, so I always have something to give. And this is Black Rob. This is my channel now. This is how I create. So I take this very seriously. And there are times, like when my niece was here, I am not on live or even posting. Most of the time I'll be on my story. However, I like to gain some clarity at times. And there's a lot of beautiful developments as you're seeing. I share it once it's out. There's always something being worked on. I'm giving. Listen, honey, I'm giving, okay? Look at the new link, honey. I'm giving. There's a lot of great things happening, okay? All this beautiful, glowing, radiant skin, all right? Laying out in the sun intentionally, dropping these pearls of wisdom to my niece and people around me. Really just quiet time. Thank you for this TED. This is it means a lot to me. And for a platform that large, I'm not going to waste it. It would never be wasted. But to me, this is for TJ Method, how humanity heals. Maybe the words I deliver, I think of it in that grandiose size. This is my experience. I will live it as grand as possible. However, maybe my words are here to heal. And so for that, it takes some clarity and sometimes some quiet time. However, I'm always showing up. I'm always going to show up to glow and give you something good. You see the lighting, the setup, but ain't no nonsense. We ain't even debating nothing that's nonsense, okay? We ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. I don't keep the skin this glowy and soft and supple and silky and radiant by talking about nothing, okay? I usually have my bottle of water. I'll have to go grab my bottle of water. Thank you. What's up, Amanda? What up? What up? Yeah, man, that's what's up. More traveling, more quiet time, or I'll just, instead of, maybe I'll just do longer lives and more of that. Like more of me. More of me. So, with that, I've had a fantastic life. This has been great. Thank you for the likes and the shares. My wonderful, I call them my personal security mag, the mods, because you quickly remove anything that's not positive, empowering, and uplifting. Yeah. And see, then there's some intention. Listen, I am frei. Your girl, listen, I see it. I see it. Okay? I see it. And even the curls. Oh, I think I may have to keep the curls around with the little, it's just looking real good over here. So, I am feeling good, feeling great. I'll probably speak at the service, and I'll be speaking in just the different spaces. And anytime you need that hope fix, go to my YouTube. Hope is Speaking. This time that I haven't been live, I really have uploaded every single live. And I didn't know. It's only been like 4 months that I've been going live. Thank you for subscribing, Amanda. I will be adding new things to the subscribers for my TikTok. It's just taken time. However, now you'll get to see a little bit more. I'm ready to show. I don't know how much you want to see, but you're going to see more, okay? You're going to see more. And yeah, the YouTube, all of my lives are on the YouTube. I'll be uploading my hike to the Hollywood sign because I went hiking to the Hollywood sign. Thank you. It better be. It better be for all the bad that I keep out to keep it feeling this good, okay? It feels really good over here. I'm up early, walking the dogs outside. Then I come and I do laps in the pool like it's go time. It's go time. Like, that's what the football players used to do. Yes. So I'm really focused, and I'm sure it'll translate in different ways. However, a lot of things will be debuted on this road to TED and beyond. However, it's happening, and it feels good. And everyone who's here with me, you're there. Like, I feel you. And it's really about some real positivity, like laughter, how I shared the story about old girl moving out. So what are you going to do about it? Work it out. Make it work. Figure it out. And then come share. Because that's what I'm doing. Okay? That's what I'm doing. With a smile on your face. I'm tired of all these long faces. Smile. Make you feel good. Trick yourself into smiling. Think hope's always smiling. Come smile. Okay? And be the reflection of love, because we come from an infinite source of love. Show up. When you show up, make it look good, glow, smile, have some glossy lips. In fact, I forgot to say this because I love a lip gloss. Doesn't matter how much it is. However, while I was flying, I would buy the less expensive lip glosses. So if it fell out of my pocket or I left it at the airport, doesn't matter. It was like $1 or $2 or less than $10. So I got this lip lifter gloss from Maybelline, and I love a nice glossy lip. And I think me and my niece were sharing a herbal cigarette, and she had said, are you wearing Limp Plumper lip gloss? And I was like, did you kiss me? How do you know? And she just started to laugh. And she said, no, because of the herbal cigarette. It was tingly. And that was my response. Did you kiss me? How do you know about my lip gloss? She thought it was hilarious. So I'm here to share that with you. How are you going to know someone's lip gloss unless you kiss them or you share an herbal cigarette? So in that regard, maybe you should kiss someone so they can remember your lip gloss. Be the reflection of love, because we come from an infinite source of love. Show up. Make it look good when you show up. Glossy, glowing, happy. Strong arms. Glowing skin. Perfect ensemble. Good energy. Because people can feel your energy. I can feel if you are a mess. I can feel it. And I will quickly say, go away from me. And finally, figure it out. I've said it many times. Everything is figure-outable. Everything. It just takes that moment of saying, figure it out. I got to figure this out. I have the solution. I am the solution. I am figuring this out. This is figured out. I have everything I need to figure this out. But figure it out. Not this, they shouldn't have, they won't let, I don't care about them. What are you going to do? This is about you. It's not about anyone outside of you. I don't care what anyone outside of hope does, because it's hope. Extremely selfish. Hope. What are you doing? Figure it out. Figure it out. You'll be amazed at yourself if you just say, I know I can figure this out. I got to figure this out. Figure it out. You can. There's nothing that you can't figure it out. However, you have to believe that you can figure it out. And I've figured out a lot. I figured out someone taking both of my vacuums that weren't even bought by that person. So if I can figure that out, you can too. And I love you all. Figure it out. I will see you next time. Go into the new link in the bio. You'll see some new things. And enjoy the best of the day. Ciao. Thank you, I am Frey. Thank you, Amanda, for subscribing. And thank you, Nick NY. I always enjoy seeing you pop in. Y'all are always supporting me. I see you. I appreciate you. I love you. And continue to glow. And Nick NY, you just got to believe it. There's nothing else that will bring it to you. You just have to change that thought into that's not for me, into this is me. This is me now. I'm trusting myself. I believe in myself. It may feel uncomfortable. So what? Get to the point where it's comfortable and then let me know. Okay? Ciao. Yes, and Mag. I think he bounced. Either way, this was a great live. I'll see y'all tomorrow.